Apparently, there's a Messi problem for the next World Cup. Let's see what they're talking about, man.
What if Messi won the World Cup again? Could you imagine? Winning the World Cup once already puts you among the greatest to ever do it. It's not just another trophy, it's the holy grail of football. It goes to the team that survives the most brutal month in the sport. The margins are tight, there's constant pressure, and there's no room for mistakes. Every opponent has spent years preparing for that exact stage. You only get a shot at it every 4 years, so winning it twice, back to back, is basically impossible. Only 2 teams have ever done it. Italy in 1934 and 1938, and Brazil in 1958 and 1962. And the last one happened more than 60 years ago. Modern football is built to stop repeats. I mean, the first problem is the 4-year gap. In club football, you can reset every summer. You can sell players, buy new ones, change your system. International football does not work like that. You're stuck with the same player pool. They get very little time together, and by the time the next World Cup arrives, your best players are either older, tired, or
Okay, if we're being honest, it can happen more often than we think. Because what if Argentina actually lost the World Cup final? France would have won it back to back, right? Now, look, y'all remember Emi Martinez save in the last second of the game, bro? It could have been 4-3 to France the other way. Now, if that had happened, I would have stopped watching football forever, and I would have cried until now because I'm the biggest Messi fan there is, and I wanted to see Messi lift the trophy. But can you imagine if France actually had scored that goal, bro? It would have been over. They would have won it back to back. But people are writing Argentina off, saying Argentina is not going to win the 2026 World Cup. Brother, I'm going to do my World Cup prediction soon, and I promise you, I'm predicting Argentina to win, bro. Like, have you seen them throughout the World Cup qualifying process, bro? They went to the top of the CONMEBOL table for a long time, bro. Come on, bro. Turn me up. Argentina winning the 2026 World Cup. I don't care.
injured. You basically have to rely on getting a golden generation of players. On top of that, once you win, you lose the advantage of surprise. Every detail of how you played gets studied, replayed, and prepared for. What once caught teams off guard becomes predictable. Spain, for example, won the World Cup in 2010. They dominated world football and still crashed out in the group stage in 2014. Germany lifted the trophy in 2014 and were knocked out in the group stage in 2018. France
Nah, I'm not gonna lie. If Argentina gets knocked out in the group stage, I'ma cry, bro.
came very close in 2022, but even with one of the deepest squads in the world, they couldn't finish the job. The game is faster, more organized, and far more physical than it used to be. Players are pushed to the limit every season. Many top players now play 60 or more matches in a year, with barely any rest. Recovery windows are smaller, the injuries pile up, and the mental fatigue builds. And it's only getting harder, because the World Cup itself is expanding. There's more teams, more matches. That extra load matters in a tournament where one bad half can end everything, which is why the idea of Messi helping Argentina win the World Cup again feels impossible. I mean, can you really top what he did in 2022? Messi went into that tournament with immense pressure on his shoulder. Now, it was actually slightly less pressure because he had finally helped.
To be honest, it is hard to top. It is hard to top. And he won't have any pressure now in 2026, but that should make it easier because he doesn't have any pressure now. But again, I don't know, man. It's Messi though. You can't write him off. Like, it's hard to write him off, you know?
helped Argentina win a trophy the year before with the Copa America. So you could argue that he was freer than previous World Cup campaigns. But still, he knew winning this one would be so much more special. Because remember, he lost in the final in 2014. Then there was the round of 16 exit to France in 2018. The constant comparisons to Maradona that never went away. By 2022, Messi wasn't just trying to win matches for his country. He was trying to end a conversation that followed him everywhere from the moment he put on the
Everywhere.
Argentina national team jersey. At 35, he knew this was probably his last shot at the big one. Argentina came in as favorites, but everyone wondered, could Messi finally win the trophy that had haunted him for so long? It didn't start well. In the opening match, Argentina lost 2-1 to Saudi Arabia in one of the biggest.
Now a local town.
To be honest, when they lost that game, I wasn't really bothered because I remember there was a stat going around that Spain lost their first group stage match. In 2010, Spain lost their first group stage match and they went on to win the World Cup. Now, with Argentina's case, right before they lost against Saudi Arabia, they had a 36 game unbeaten streak. So I was like, bro, they're the best team if you look at it. And people were being biased because Messi got older and all this stuff, and Di Maria got older. and they were like, these guys can't do it. But look what happened, bro. You can't write these guys off, man.
And they've turned it right around.
Their 36-game unbeaten run was over, but Messi and the team didn't panic. Messi actually came out after that and told the fans to keep faith in both him.
Ooh, well, I like the jersey collection he got. He got Ronaldinho, Messi, Ronaldo, Henry. It's a nice collection right there.
And the team. And after that statement, well, he went on to drop one of the greatest individual World Cup campaigns we've ever seen. His goal against Mexico will go down as one of the most important goals in his career. Argentina's backs were against the wall, and he changed the game by himself.
Messi's
If they lost that game,
that's what they came for. One more Messi moment,
goosebumps, bro.
and Argentina are alive.
In the round of 16 versus Australia, Messi scored a beautiful goal. His first ever in a World Cup knockout game. Argentina won 2-1.
Messi! He's only gone and done it again. 1,000 games, and still he excels.
Then in the quarterfinals versus the Netherlands, Messi gave a ridiculous.
This gotta be hands down one of the most, I don't know, interesting World Cup games ever. Like against Netherlands, it gotta be one of the most interesting ones because of all the drama, even the drama afterwards. The famous "Come here, Bobo, Apasa Bobo," like all that stuff, bro. This gotta be. It got heated as well. It's like an El
no-look
Clasico.
assist.
Wriggling away from Ake and fiddling through a beautiful pass. It's a wonderful Argentina goal.
Oh my days.
Molina pounced.
Scored a penalty and buried his pen in the shootout. Argentina went through. Then in the semifinal versus Croatia, Messi scored a penalty
easy.
and then completely embarrassed
Oh,
one of the
this.
best defenders.
Oh my God, Guardiola. Like he was classed the top defender at the time, and look what Messi did to him. And he's young. He's like 21 here.
In the tournament, Guardiola with a wonderful dribble.
Messi held up by Guardiola. Messi away from Guardiola. Argentina all but in the final.
Messi now had 5 goals and Argentina were in the World Cup final. And that final, it was pure chaos. Probably the greatest match ever played. Messi
Heart
scored
attack,
the opener
man.
from the penalty spot,
A heartbeat. And Messi.
and Argentina went up 2-0.
And how Di Maria. Glorious goal.
It looked like it was going to be an easy win. Yet France stormed.
Come on, Mbappe, bro. Why did you have to do it? Mbappe gave all of us heart attacks, bro. All of us got heart attacks watching. Even the neutral fans got heart attacks watching this game, bro.
Back with Mbappe scoring twice in 2 minutes.
Mbappe! Oh, wow! He is an awesome force of nature!
Extra time came. Messi scored again in the 108th minute to make it
Yep.
3-2. But Mbappe completed his hat-trick to tie it 3-3. It all came down to pen. Messi calmly scored his, and Argentina won the shootout thanks to Emi Martinez.
Emi.
Great stop!
Bravo! I'm
Martinez is punching the air.
getting goosebumps again, bro. Like, this is crazy, man. All football fans, bro. You gotta love this. I think the only people who weren't happy are France fans and Ronaldo fans. But this was the great game, bro.
Again, Montiel. Argentina, champions of the world. Again, at last.
At last, Argentina were world champion. Messi had done it. He had finally reached the mountaintop. His numbers were insane. 7 goals, 3 assists, 5 man of the match awards. He won the Golden Ball as
Wow.
the best player of the tournament. The first man ever to win it twice. I know some idiots like to try and downplay his World Cup campaign to just pens, but that just shows you they
Hey, anybody who keeps talking about the pens, bro, y'all don't know football for real. Y'all IQ is beneath my bottom of my feet, bro. Y'all do not know football if you think, oh, penalty. If you remove every penalty from the World Cup, Argentina still wins. Which is why y'all should shut up. In the World Cup final, if they didn't have penalties, Argentina would still win. Come on, bro.
watch football with a blindfold on. The second Messi lifted that trophy,
Facts.
the pressure vanished instantly. All the debate stopped. The GOAT debate, the debate of Messi versus Maradona, the weight on his shoulders disappeared. Maybe that's why Messi doesn't want to retire. Maybe that's why he's still playing in yet another World Cup. The guy is no longer chasing legacy. Everyone knows he's the GOAT. I think he just loves football, loves competing, and has a lot of faith in the new team around him. The national team is stacked with talent. It's no surprise that they have won so many trophies in such a short span of time. In every position there is a warrior that is willing to do whatever it takes to win. And all of these beasts are led by a world-class manager in
I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty sure I saw him. I was in the same airplane as Scaloni. He had on even an Argentina jacket as well, like the national team jacket. But I didn't want to go up to him. And I was looking at my phone and looking at him like, bro, this gotta be Scaloni. This is when I was on my way to Thailand, bro, in a transit. And I'm pretty sure it was him, but I didn't want to go up to him because I'm like, is it not him or is it him? You know what I mean? And he had on a long sleeve Argentina training like jacket like thing, right? Like the national team thing. And this was in December of 2024, I think. I'm pretty sure it was him, bro. Bro, I pulled up Google, and while we were waiting for our bags, I pulled up Google and I was looking at him and looking at Google, looking at him, bro. It's him. But bro, I wanted to go up to him and get an autograph or say something to him. You know what I mean, bro? I don't know why I didn't, bro. To this day, I regretted it, man. It was the same when I saw Christian Pulisic too. I saw Pulisic in the airport in North Carolina right after USA won the Nations League, right? But I think Pulisic had earphones in his ear, but I think he was trying to avoid everybody, right? So I passed him, and then I don't know why I froze up. I walked past him because I was heading to my gate. I think he was transiting or something to another gate, right? And I walked past Pulisic. I locked eyes with him. As soon as I passed him, I was like, "Oh my god, that was Pulisic, bro!" And he just came back from winning the Nations League, and he had on his backpack and everything, like the U.S. men's national team backpack and everything. And I turned around and said, "Yo, Pulisic, Pulisic," but he had something in his ear, so he didn't turn around. I think he might have heard me, but he's trying to avoid all fans and pictures. When they if he stops, bro, everybody's gonna. But I'm pretty sure I saw Lionel Scaloni, bro.
Scaloni, a man who completely revolutionized the national team. For the first time, the Argentina national team is still good without Messi, and we saw that at the 2024 Copa America. For the fourth time in a row, Messi and his teammates had reached the summit of a major tournament, a run that's been unmatched in the country's history. Back-to-back Copa Americas with a
Shout out my boy Alfonso Davis, man.
casual
Fonzie.
World Cup in between. That's better than sex. It's crazy how much both Messi and Argentina's international legacy transformed in the past few years. Before, they were known as a team that constantly crumbled in final. Chokers, bottlers, the arsenal of national teams. Okay, maybe not the last one. You got the 2014 World Cup. Back to
Don't disrespect them like that, bro. Don't put them to the level of the Butlers Arsenal. This is Arsenal's logo, bro. Hey, if I ever, which is, I like to believe in myself, but it's highly unlikely. But if I ever get the offer to play for Arsenal one day, delete this video. Somebody please tell me to delete this video off YouTube. But let me get back to it. Arsenal's are real bottlers, bro. I don't want these men to win the Premier League, bro. Never. They don't deserve it, man. I mean, to be honest, the team and the players, they deserve it. But the Arsenal fans, bro, I do not like Arsenal fans, bro. They are delusional, bro. They are annoying. If they win the Prem, bro, it's over. Imagine if they win the Champions League. Oh my days. Every football fan gotta log off the internet for a whole year, bro. No internet for 1 year for every football fan if Arsenal win the Prem or the Champions League.
back Copa America heartbreaks in 2015 and 2016. And then of course the exit at the 2018 World Cup. A moment that many felt was Messi's last opportunity for international glory. Well, now he has as many major trophies as he had finals losses. What a beast. Now while Messi has received some very well-deserved credit, I mean the guy's the greatest of all time, and put together one of the greatest World Cup campaigns I've ever seen. Anyone that tries to belittle his performance to just penalties doesn't understand a thing about football, or they were watching the tournament with a blindfold. But like I said, while Messi deserves a lot of credit, Scaloni also deserves a lot of love.
Definitely him, bro. And I think he had like a little chip right here in his above his eyebrow. It's him. Why didn't I go up to him? I don't know. And the same haircut and everything. Same body built, face, nose, everything. I'm tripping. And he had on the Argentina shirt. He literally had on the national team thing, bro.
Love. People underestimate just how important it is to have a good manager. Talent alone cannot win you anything, and we've seen that in the past for Argentina. You see, in previous years, there was never a lack of talent with the national team. For example, let's go back to 2010. Bafana, South Africa, the World Cup. This team had Higuain, who despite all the memes and stuff, was a great number 9, at least at club level. I don't know, sometimes with the national team, this guy can't hit a barn door. They also had Tevez.
I'm not gonna lie, to this day, and I know Higuain feels bad, bro, because everybody was on his case. But to this day, I don't forgive Higuain, bro. Like Argentina could have won the World Cup in 2014, bro. No disrespect to Germany, but like Argentina could have won bro. Higuain missed so many easy chances. And this is because we're Messi fans, right? Not because we're Argentina fans, because we're Messi fans. We wanted to see him lift a trophy. And after that World Cup, we were like, oh my gosh. Because he had been to so many Copa America finals and lost to Chile, bro. Penalties and other stuff. Then he went to the World Cup final and lost, bro. It was like, and that's why he retired and came back, bro. He retired because of all this, bro. And Higuain is a big part of that.
who was destroying teams in the Premier League,
Shout
a
out to
young
Tevez.
Angel Di Maria,
Maria.
Demichelis, Otamendi, not the
Ooh,
best team
Ota.
in the World Cup, especially since
Damn. Oh, the goalkeeper. What's his name again? Romero? This is a great team, bro. Fire team right here.
the defenders and midfielders were not as high quality as the attackers, but certainly not a bad team. But the problem was the manager, Diego Armando Maradona. A great example that not all fantastic players can be fantastic managers. One of the greatest players to ever play the sport, but man, this guy had no idea how to run a team. The only reason Argentina even made it to the quarterfinals was because of individual talent, as seen by the fact that when they finally ran into a proper team, they lost 4-0. Anyways, he got sacked and replaced by Sergio Batista for the 2011 Copa America. But Batista wasn't that great either. Argentina started the tournament tying Bolivia, no offense to Bolivia, but come on, then drawing 0-0 with Colombia. Then they ended up losing in the quarters to Uruguay, and after, Batista was sacked. The next tournaments were better. Sabella came in and he was much better than all the managers before him. The team was more solid defensively and Argentina made it all the way to the finals of the 2014 World Cup. However, the next two eras of Martino and Sampaoli were reminders that talent alone cannot win you games. That's why I still give a lot of credit to Sabella, because other managers have shown that just because you have Messi doesn't mean that you're guaranteed a trophy. He will get you close, don't get it twisted, but in order to get to the finish line you need good teammates and a good manager. Messi needed a little bit more help in the 2014 World Cup final and unfortunately he didn't get it. I have a strong feeling that if Di Maria was allowed to play in that game, he would have cooked. But of course, as we have all seen, Real Madrid basically didn't let him play. So you need a good team and a good manager around Lionel Messi. And that brings us to this current
What? Nah, don't make me hate Real Madrid even more, bro. Don't make me hate Real Madrid even more, bro. What did you just say?
allowed to play in that game, he would have, and unfortunately he didn't get it. I have a Messi needed a little bit more help in the 2014 World Cup final and unfortunately he didn't get it. I have a strong feeling that if Di Maria was allowed to play in that game, he would have cooked. But of course, as we have all seen, Real Madrid basically didn't let him play. So you need a good
Oh no, I got beef with Real Madrid for life, bro. Even if Real Madrid offer me to play for them, I'm turning it down, bro. To be honest, if I ever get an offer from Real Madrid, guys, remind me to delete this video. Okay, but if Real Madrid offer me to play for them, bro, I'm turning it down, bro. What you mean you didn't let Di Maria play in the World Cup final because he
team and a good manager around Lionel Messi. And that brings us to this current side. Scaloni came at a time where Argentina was honestly lost. After another disappointing World Cup run, the national team and the coach Jorge Sampaoli agreed to part ways. Sampaoli had promised a lot, but the team looked confused and broken. In fact, for many, they felt like it was a passing of the torch moment, that Messi's time was done and that Mbappe was the future. Another narrative that was put to bed after the 2022 World Cup, but I'll get there. Argentina needed a fresh start. Now, Scaloni was a man that few expected to lead the national team. He had been one of Sampaoli's assistants, but he had zero experience coaching a senior team. Most of the sports media in Argentina laughed at the decision, but they were wrong. His 4-4-2 style worked very well, and he made sure to put athletic, hardworking players around Messi. That way, Messi could do his thing and could conserve his energy defensively.
Rodrigo De Paul was running, and he's Messi's unofficial bodyguard. Who else was running? My boy, oh my days, why is my brain going blank, bro? Am I tripping? Alvarez. Who then Alvarez?
He still presses, but
he was running. McAllister running. Fernandez running. Everybody was running for Messi, bro.
It's a lot easier for Messi to press when there's Rodrigo De Paul around him, McAllister, Molina. What ended up happening was that Argentina became solid defensively and very tough to break down, as evident by their 1-0 victory against Brazil at the Maracanã in Copa America. I mean, people have to understand how ridiculous that is. Argentina went to Brazil's own backyard and beat them in a final to lift a major trophy. To this day, I still think that final was the toughest one, because before then, Argentina hadn't won anything in 28 years. All of the demons around Messi and the whole national team were on their shoulders. The pressure and expectations had never been higher.
I remember this final, bro. The 1-0 was so sweet. I was so happy. I would have been happy if Neymar won it either way, but I would have been sad because you know how much finals Messi been to and didn't win anything,
And
bro.
you had Neymar turning into an absolute beast. So winning that
Yeah.
final was essential. It really was the spark that started the cycle of Argentina just destroying everyone. Because if they don't win that final, who knows what would have happened. Messi might have retired.
Facts.
Scaloni, despite taking him to the final, could have been fired. But instead, they ended up beating their biggest rivals in their home stadium. It was emotional, historic, and the whole country celebrated like never before. It was an incredible run, and thank God for Angel Di Maria, because Messi
Di
was not good in the
Maria.
final, so it was nice that his teammates
Facts.
actually helped him for once. A chip that was very similar to the goal that he scored against Brazil in the Olympics. Angel Di Maria, the angel that helped the national team. Like I said, this wasn't just Messi's win, it was also Scaloni's masterpiece. The team looked more united than ever before. Night and day difference between the team that we saw in the 2018 World Cup and the team that we saw 2 years later at the Copa. In 2022, while Argentina kept rolling, they beat the European champions Italy 3-0 in the Finalissima, another trophy for Scaloni and the crew. Then came the World Cup in Qatar. Now, Argentina actually lost their first match to Saudi Arabia of all teams, and the doubters returned. But nobody on the team panicked. Not Scaloni, not Messi, not the rest of the players. There was a trust in the system, and Scaloni showed his adaptability, made some smart changes, and the team responded. They beat Mexico and Poland, then powered through the knockout round, past Australia, past the Dirty Dutch. Yeah, Louis van Gaal can hold that, and then past Croatia with a dominant 3-0 win in the semis. What Scaloni had done was, after that first loss, he decided to put Enzo Fernandez in the starting 11 and play McAllister as the left midfielder. That changed everything. The 4-4-2 worked like a charm. Enzo was now next to Rodrigo De Paul, and they complemented each other so well, because De Paul was the engine, running everywhere, closing down, winning duels, and then Enzo could do his thing, dictate the play from deep, score goals if he has to. There's a reason this guy won the young player of the tournament. And then of course up top, Julian Alvarez was pretty much the perfect number 9 to put next to Messi. The guy doesn't stop running. He's intelligent with his positioning, and when he gets the opportunity, he knows how to be clinical. And then of course came the final against France, which was literally like a Netflix movie, and we all know how that ended. I think that final to this day is still some of the highest level football I've ever seen. Like that Di Maria goal alone is beautiful team play. It should have been a spanking, but I guess they wanted to make the game close to make it more epic. Or at least that's what I tell myself. Because at one point I genuinely thought Mbappe was going to score 4 or 5 goals and France was going to win the whole thing. And that would have been a terrible look for Messi and the national team. But Scaloni had done what no manager had done since 1986, bring a World Cup to Argentina. He gave the country joy. And then, as if 2 major trophies weren't enough, Argentina also won the 2024 Copa America. Now this tournament for me was a very important one because it was a glimpse into Argentina's future. Scaloni has set up a system that will continue to work even when the greatest player of all time retires. Because in that Copa America, Messi was not at his best. I mean, he was still good.
He was on the bench as well. I mean, he got injured. His ankle got injured, and he was on the bench for like 30 minutes of the game, I think.
But by his standards, he wasn't anywhere near what we saw in Qatar. Age seemed to have caught up with him, and in fact, he actually came off in the final with an ankle injury. But under Scaloni, this isn't just Messi's team anymore. Everyone has a role to
Hey, shout out to my boy too. These are Messi's 2 bodyguards, guys. You can't mess with Messi. You remember that Netherlands match? Who you think came up, huh?
play. And that was proven by Lautaro Martinez coming off the bench and scoring an extra time. And boom, Argentina were champions again. Similar thing happened in the World Cup qualifiers match against Brazil. No Messi, Rafinha talking trash before the match, no problem. Argentina embarrassed them 4-1 with goals coming from everywhere. McAllister scored, Enzo scored, Alvarez, Simeone's son. That's what this team can do now. They can punish you from any area of the pitch. Without Messi, they can press you even harder, because usually Messi walked around scratching his balls when he didn't have the ball. He would only press in certain situations. The team is now also so tactically fluid. They're able to hold possession, but they can also be super direct. When you have strikers like Julian Alvarez, Lautaro Martinez, it's very easy to get him behind. They're meant to duel, never giving up. That's what makes this team so special. They are both incredibly skillful and aren't afraid of doing the dirty work. I mean, look at this team. In goal, you got the penalty king, the mental games warrior. Dibu Martinez is a wall. He's the guy you want in a shootout, or pretty much any moment in a match, because he's confident, he's fearless. This brother was doing keepy-ups against Brazil. Argentina believes in him, and he believes in himself more than anyone else. Who better to have in goal? It's a huge upgrade considering that in the 2018 World Cup, Willy Caballero couldn't save a Word document. Then the defenders are all
Bro, thank you, Dibu Martinez, Emmy Martinez, bro. Oh my
beasts. You
god.
got Christian Romero, who plays like every duel is a war. He's one of the most physical center backs in the world. He's fast, he's good on the ball. What else can you ask for? Then you have Lisandro Martinez, who when he isn't in that negative environment of Manchester United, actually looks incredible. Despite his height, he's incredibly tough. So you put those two guys next to each other and it's impossible for attackers to score. The wingbacks are good too. You got Tagliafico, who's constantly making overlapping runs on the left, reads the game well, and then you got Molina, who once again is a player who's not afraid of being aggressive. Then you get to the midfielders, the brain of the operation. You got Rodrigo De Paul, who is just an absolute monster. If you hear anybody trying to downplay this guy as just Messi's bodyguard, just know they don't watch football. Not only has this guy been incredible at Atletico, but for the national team, he's everywhere. He presses, he defends, he creates, he bleeds for the national team. I can see why opposition fans don't like him, but you have to respect his talent. Then you got Alexis McAllister. The biggest compliment I can give this guy is that there was times during the World Cup that I legit thought it was Messi. Yes, from the TV
On God. Me too, bro. I'm not gonna lie. When I was watching the 2022 World Cup, a lot of times I'm looking like, bro, is that Messi? But it's McAllister, bro. Like, because he's built similar to Messi and the beard and the hair. And then when he was playing, he was moving like Messi. A lot of times I'll be looking like, bro, is that Messi? But it's McAllister. What?
broadcast
Me
angle
too.
and his beard and his movement, he looked like Messi. He's so creative. He's able to pop up with a goal, but he's not afraid of putting in a tackle. Then you got Enzo, who I told you guys is an incredible box-to-box player. His chance creation always gets wasted at Chelsea, but not for the national team. And then you have the forwards. Lautaro Martinez has slowly transformed into a killer. There were times before where he would score a lot of goals, but then in the crucial games he would miss. But in the 2024 Copa America, this guy won the Golden Boot, and he was crucial. So I think he's turned a new leaf over there. And then of course you have the Spider. He creates pure chaos. Another player who runs non-stop, another player who presses like crazy. He's one of the best number 9s in the world. He can create for himself, he's not reliant on service, unlike the Norwegian robot he used to play with, and he can play up top or out wide. He's very flexible. Now of course you notice that I didn't
Man, we got a Arsenal. We got a Holland disc, bro. Man said Norwegian robot he used to play with. That's crazy. They're saying Holland needs service to score. It kind of true, but hey, he still scores in it.
robot he used to play with, and he can play up top or out wide. He's not reliant on service, unlike the Norwegian robot he used to play with, and he can play up top or out wide. He's very flexible. Now of course you notice that I didn't talk about Messi, and that's for two reasons. Number one, I think this Argentina team is entering a new era, and the players deserve to get praise and credit individually. They are that good. And number two, is because I have a 15-minute documentary on all of Messi's victims, from destroying Kylian Mbappe to the numerous times that he's destroyed Cristiano Ronaldo. You have to check out this video right here.
That's crazy. We gonna check it out, man. Lionel Messi owns the world. Ooh, okay. Fire video by Ped Talks Football, man. Check him out. Subscribe to him. I'm gonna leave the original video in the description. But let me know what you think, bro. Can Argentina win the World Cup again? Do they have a Messi problem in the World Cup, bro? We will see, man. But I'm not doubting Messi. Maybe they can do it again. It's hard, but hey, I'm never putting it past them, bro. It's your boy, the man. Go check out this video on the screen right here that I'm gonna be popping up right here. Beep. This video on the screen, man, and subscribe if you haven't already, bro. Road to 100,000 subscribers. Subscribe, man. Click that button, man.